Alexa, turn on family room lights white.
Okay.
All in all, I would say that this is a really good kit. I'm happy to have it. So the first thing you want to do is open up the Lumary app and then make sure that you are connected to the Wi-Fi on your phone. Go ahead and hit the plus sign there and let's add a device. And now it's going to look for your device. You may have to go over and press the Wi-Fi button to force it back into pair mode. And you'll see that it starts to flash around the TV screen, and that lets you know that it is now in pairing mode. So once the device is in pairing mode, we're going to go ahead and go down to gateway control, and you're going to search for the HDMI one right there at the top. Once again, do make sure that you are connected to the 2.4 gigahertz, not your 5 gigahertz or 6 gigahertz connections. Go ahead and hit next, and it's going to give you the basic rundown of setup. Of course, we're already in pairing mode, so we won't have to do any of this, but if you're not, just follow the instructions on screen to set up your controller. And I'm going to confirm we are breathing slowly. Now, once you change your hotspot connection, so I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and we're going to look for the Lumary Wi-Fi connection. Connect to that and go back to our Lumary app here. And we have connected. Now, if you do get hung up on there, just make sure it switches back to your regular Wi-Fi connection. You're going to want to make sure that that is your 2.4 and it did not default back to a 5 gigahertz or a 6 gigahertz connection. Once that has added, go ahead and hit done. And now you're going to set up the strip based upon how you actually laid it out on the TV. So in our case, our input is on the bottom right. And our flow direction, as you can see on screen, is counterclockwise. So we're going to go ahead and hit next. Now for this one, we do not have the side light bars, so we won't have to worry about setting that up. So I'll just hit next on that, and we'll go ahead and hit complete, and we are good to go. Now, as you can see, I've already got a YouTube video playing here. This one is of some different colors, a really good way to check out the lights on the TV here. And so that is the multiple color mode, and you can do single color mode as well, and that will give you just a solid color around the TV. Obviously, you know, being that these are addressable LEDs, you're gonna want to do the multicolor mode to maximize the inputs that you're seeing. Now below you do have intensity section. How much change do you want? How drastic? I like it on high. And movie mode versus game. I honestly didn't really see much of a difference here. I'm just going to leave it on movie mode. And you could go to this little next section here. This is where you can set individual colors if you want to change and maybe set a solid color to the screen itself. Then these are different modes that you can choose. You can scroll down here and there's, you know, oh, Christmas Eve, there you go. So that would be a good mode to put it on if, say, you're not really watching any TV, but you want to show the lights off, you know, make the room a little bit more festive without actually having to turn on something on the TV itself. So that's nice. And there are quite a few different modes in here, different styles, and they all can look quite a bit different. Now, the next section is where we're going to set up the actual lights overhead. So for this one, the first thing you want to check is your gateway configuration. Go ahead and click on that. Now it's going to open up and it's going to start searching for your devices. And you want to make sure that your device lights are on. Like in my case, I have them on a switch. So I'll go ahead and turn them on, and you're going to see they start to fade in and out. And that is actually them in pairing mode. So we're going to go ahead and add sub-device now. And we're going to confirm that the device is in pairing mode. And now it's going to actually find all 6 of our lights one by one and add them in manually, well, automatically. So once it's found all the lights, they will all 6 show up and they'll all stop flashing and just go solid white. So go ahead and hit done. And now we have used the Zigbee HDMI device to be the gateway for each of these lights. You cannot add the lights individually. You do actually have to have the gateway At least from what I could tell, I was unable to add them separately. So you can hit done, and now you can see all 6 of the lights are in here, and we are going to go ahead and hit back. So now let's go back to the music movie section here. Now this is where we're going to want to configure device, and we're going to be able to determine where the placement will be of each of these lights. So depending on your layout, you may have a different layout than what I have, but all of mine are in the top left corner of the TV, so that is where I'm going to place all of mine. So one by one, I'm just going to select all of them here, and that way they all end up on the screen. Now you see they're kind of spread around a little bit, so I want to move them all up into this top corner. So literally I'm just touching each one. If it's a group, you're going to touch it, and then 3, 2, whatever the grouping size is will pop up, and you can just move them into the proper corner of where you want them to be, and that will make them all that color. Now theoretically I could also move them into other corners to make them different colors, like you can see that one on the end there, but I think from the playing that I did, this seemed to be the best combination for my layout. So that is how I'm going to have them set up. The next, you just go ahead and hit save, and it is now saved. So now we can actually go back in here, and we are going to go ahead and hit multiple color, and that's going to turn on the light around the TV as well as the recessed lights. And you can see the screen went black, and so did the lights. Now, the only things that will actually control these lights is on this page. If you go to this mode here where you can select individual colors, that is only going to work on the TV itself. It does not work for the overhead lights. The same is true for all of these different modes on the scene page, so it's definitely something to consider. Now, it's not a big deal though. You can actually still control them individually. We'll go back to that multicolor mode. So what you're going to want to do is to back out to your home screen again. So now you're going to want to make sure in your Lumary Smart HDMI that you do have all of your video modes turned off. So if you do have that on, it will affect the overhead lights and you won't have individual control. So make sure you go in here and you do turn that off, just like so. So you can actually still control them individually. We'll go back to that multicolor mode. Once you click on that, you're going to want to go to the pin up in the top right corner, and on this you're going to want to create, and you can click on any one of the recessed lights, and once you click on that, you're going to want to go to the pin up in the top right corner, and on this you're going to want to create a group. Now go ahead and add in all 6 of your devices to that group. Then you go back out to your home screen and go ahead and hit recessed lights area. Now this is where we can actually get individual control over the overhead lights themselves, whatever color we want. We just change that right on the fly, as well as if you're just looking for a basic white, and the slider on the top there is your brightness. These are quite bright overhead lights, so you're going to find that you want to go a little bit lower. One thing you're probably going to want to do as well, go into your settings and your power on behavior here. What you can do here, you can actually set it so that when you turn the switch off and back on, it defaults to a certain color and brightness level. So in my case, I think the biggest thing will be that if you know, being that white light is generally the color that I want in this room, I'm going to go ahead and set this to customized, and we're going to set the brightness about where I normally would want it, probably right at like the 20% mark. That looks good, with a nice white color to it, and this hit back there, and that will be my customized color. You can set it to turn on gradually, or you can have it to turn on right away. Gradual is kind of nice, so it'll just be a little gradual step up till it turns off. So we'll go ahead and hit back, and that will be your standard. So case in point, I can move over here. So we're in red mode now, and I'll just go back to the home screen. So you can see I'm not changing any settings, but what I can do is I can turn these lights off, and then when I turn them back on via the switch, they will default to that white color. Now, once again, all I got to do is just come right here on the same screen, hit recess lights, and then I can change this slider to red again, blue, whatever color I'm looking for. In addition, you do have scenes, just like you do on the TV screen. You can come down here to your Christmas or birthdays or anything like that. Now they all do sync, so whatever one of them color-wise is doing, the others will do the same if you're using this paired mode. If you do want to try to maintain control individually, you can go into each light individually and you can choose which color that you want that light to be, and you can actually control them all one by one in this way. Before you do that, you do want to make sure that you have the group turned off, and then go into each light individually and you can set those colors for each light. So as you can see right there, I've got quite a few different colors up there for each light individually. And once again, it's very easy to change that out. Just turn it off, turn it right back on, and they're going to default right back to that white. Or you can go into this recess lights group that we created, turn them on, and then go over to select which color you want those lights to be. You do have quick modes at the top if you're just looking for the basic color collection, as well as adding your own favorite if you already want to create one. So like, let's say that's a color I want, I can add that color in there like that, no problem. Quite a few different options in how you can run that. And now once again, if you do say you want to sit down and watch a movie, all you got to do is go back into the HDMI Smart, hit multiple color, and it will once again sync right up to the TV. As soon as you're done watching your movie, just make sure you hit that pause button again so that you can once again maintain full control of the lights themselves. And then once again, you do have all of these modes here that you can choose from. You can also do a music mode, and music mode is kind of cool. You just hit start and it will pick up microphone inputs from the phone itself, as well as if you were to play music from an app, it will dance to the music sounds. And once again, this is separate from the TV itself, so you kind of have to choose which one you want to play. Now beyond that, you also do have the option of setting scenes, so where you can go in here, you can hit something like tap to run, or if you just go in this top corner with the plus sign, you can actually set different modes. Maybe you want the lights to turn on at a certain time every day, turn off at a certain time every day, device status inputs, inputs from weather, other things like that. You can make a lot of different changes there. Tap to run basically just gives you the option to choose circumstances when things will change. So like here we do have the option of choosing recessed lights group, and we can go in there and we can set the mode that we want it to start. We can select the brightness, the color temp, the timer, do not disturb, and then from there you could save it, and that would just basically be like a single quick push button to make the lights do that. Okay, so then just like that, we have that popped up, and you can go ahead and just click that, and it will actually change to a color. But in general, I would say most changes you're going to make are going to be within this mode right here. And that will give you that full control, as well as defaulting back by just turning off the lights and turning them right back on. Now, in addition to that, you can also set this to sync with your Alexa or other devices. If you go to the Me tab here, you'll see Alexa, Google Assistant, or Smart Things, and that will enable you to be able to sync with Alexa. So you can use voice control to turn the lights on and off. So you just hit Alexa and it will allow you to sync that up. And then within Alexa, you will see it within the Devices tab, where you can actually set each one, and you can set different room designations. So like in the case here, I will go ahead and actually add some devices to this room. So we go to Edit, and I'm going to choose which ones of the smart devices that I have currently set up that I want to add in here. So you can see there, I have now added all 6 of the recessed lights. I will hit Save, and that will save it into my family room option. So now all I have to do is say, Alexa, turn off family room lights.
Okay.
And the Alexa in the other room actually did that, not the phone itself, but you can use the phone if you want, or you can just say it verbally and it will tell it to do it, as well as other modes. You can say things like, I'll go back here, so back to the Lumary app. Alexa, turn on family room lights, blue color.
Okay.
And as you can see, it just turned on all the lights with blue color. So it does give you some control. Alexa, turn on family room lights, white.
Okay.
And just like that, it's turned it on white. So there's different modes like that, and you can play around. I mean, obviously there's a ton of features, tons of different modes and things that you can tell the app to do. Now, you know, some of the downsides you will see on the 75-inch TV I have here. I did have to extend the strip connections a little bit between each strip so that I could put it on the edge of the TV. And as you can see on the TV, there are dark spots at the corners, and that's because the strips are a set length. They're designed specifically for 55 to 65-inch TVs, so there is a limit to how well that can work. But I do think that all in all, it still looks really good even for having those dead edges. But all in all, I would say that this is a really good kit. I'm happy to have it. The install was not very difficult, so if you're concerned about that, hopefully this video helped to explain a little bit better at least what is entailed and what's involved, if it's something you're able to do, or if it's something you might want to try to find someone else to do for you. If you have any questions or any thoughts, definitely put them in the comments, as well as the bracket that I used to create the 6-inch holes using the 4-inch openings that I had already created. If that is something that does interest you, if maybe you're in the same situation as I was, just reach out, let me know. I do have a water jet, and I am capable of cutting out metal versions of that bracket. So if somebody really does want one, just reach out, let me know, and I can do that for a small fee. But otherwise, you know, simple 6-inch holes, they're not too hard to drill. Thanks for watching the show, and if you enjoy things like this with home automation, RGB specifically, definitely subscribe to the channel, because we will be doing a lot more videos like this in the future. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.